filled that role.
Yeah, Naite was one of the top 5 best rated players out of Series 1 of Thunderpick that they just placed second in. So, I mean, where you get that, I mean, particularly with him, I think kind of on a better burn kind of into this, I think, form where you gotta rein on that consistency so much where I think you're kind of in and out. Like, I kept hearing whispers about when you could really kind of, you know, see maybe Woody burning into a better game or where you would have that get down. And I just hadn't seen it for a while, but I've seen that form from Woody now. I think I believe more in the rest of ODDIK, and, you know, we're one of the last op IGLs in this region come to swing. Here's Pank. He's got 3 deleted all the way out here. You've been terminated out of this long door, and they are just going to keep throwing their heads at it. Why not at this point? Barton and SHZ around that corner, and they fought for a little bit of respect here in a 2v3.
Yeah, but Case-Lox has already crept up behind them, so the door is shut. Woody has a smoke, has a nade, but doesn't really feel the need to drop that at the current time. SHZ, they're going to wait this out a little bit, but at the same time, he's got this Molotov that could be perfect. Pank and Woody could both be flushed out in one fell swoop.
Pank tapping his foot, saying at some point this will happen. Here goes a bit of a signal, if anything. Smoke up that's going to reach deep into the site. Woody have a smoke of their own for a little bit of protection. They have to remain protected themselves, have some cover, and with the numbers here, they got to deal with it. It's going to be hard for XW7M to get past this line particularly, and they won't. Pank on for the ace, but it's Woody that will take it out of his hands, relieve a little bit of the pressure. ODDIK got some help for him.
Yeah, nice work from Pank, 4 kills, and the finalization by the in-game leader. Look to ODDIK for playing on the CT side like they are very aggressive. They usually have some good protocols. They're going to want to take space. Probably going to see them fight in lower tons pretty often. On catwalk, anywhere they can, and have the availability to. This is a team that demands respect first and foremost before they're going to give it.
So we got to do some more talking, I think, of where we have our first, maybe, initial eco. There's the real deal from it. The scout has been wiped off of BSD. What are you doing here next to Nakez all the way through, right? I mean,
yeah.
I thought we had some guys potentially in the W7M jersey that are immediately onto 9Z, I hear.
Yeah, you know, listen, Levi going over there along with Urbano, that was the, you know, the other pieces of the main.
Soul of an Opera.
The Magic 8 Ball says yes.
Hey, a Fozy.
To be honest, yeah, that's right. You know, kidding aside, BSD, he's still 23 years old, still a relatively young guy. He spent most of his 2025 though with free agent team Swingers, Uno Melee, LP. Hello. You know, and I think that in general, he's been a guy that I've seen quite a lot from. Last I saw him on an org was Case, and he was decent. I think definitely a slight weak link in that team, unfortunately, but looking to be a, you know, have a new lease on life, if you will.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you join up with some great stance with you. I mean, how you're performing, you got to get this out. It's your full 5 now. Literally just saw 9Z win a championship with 2 of those players that got replaced. So that's just how it goes sometimes in this fold. One tournament ends into another. Those moves come through. But on this end, I mean, particularly with Tarnay on the other side, I think it's actually been pretty well in the stance that we've gotten to see them. Have been quite effective out here, kind of within this ODDIK process.
It's never enough for Naite. He gets the opening frag, really aggressive with the MP9, and it's nades almost a bunch of missiles landing in middle to do some damage and tee him up for that. And yet he still wanted to fight. Case-Lox now the one investigating, and Woody on an MP9. Not the greatest of weapons to be playing at this range. For XW7N, they're going to walk their way back up Cat. Now they're stuck into it.
All going deeper. Now Woody can just hang on this line. JOTA has a good kill, but 12 minutes ticking fast. They have a good frag in coordination. There's 3 kills, but there's no bomb plant until right now. JOTA has it just in time. That was really XW7M against really it all, the clock included. Turn ACs again against his old squad. Long time no see.
Yeah, speaking of long time no see, Nekis and Barton teaming up once again from their time on Legacy.
They're back.
Yeah. I would have thought Barton might be a little bit hesitant to, you know, come play for the guy or play with the guy who was part of the cutting process, but... Or did that all happen at one time? Maybe that all happened at one time. I do not recall. Either way.
I would like to point out we can shout out former North American coach Horvey, who used to coach for Wildcard. Special place in my heart. He was there during the kind of fair beginning of that stint all the way on, before they went international. And then he returned home, and has been with these boys ever since. And now 2 of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was actually part of the reason I was, initially excited for this W7M project. Fortunately, I don't really feel like it ever got fully off the ground. Now, without the support of an organization, obviously that's gonna be problematic. Naite, dude, I told you they just love this double op, man. Instantly into it. Lose a round, I'll be having a double op. Naite hits a tag and escapes with his life.
Who's not a fan? Me. On this Dust2, you can get a hand. You're no fun.
I am a fan, actually. It's just...
risky.
You know...
Big ball and big business.
It really is. To me, the double op is a response. It's a reaction. Not an opening gambit.
Especially in the MR12 days. Not enough money to go around. Plenty of damage thrown right back. They're particularly sent back by a really well-timed smoke upcat. There's Naite seeing up top onto Barton, who is completely clipped. Pank doesn't spam with that flash. No position to give it away. 50 seconds have been dwindled down. And now Pank at long is going to get active for the very first time. There's that second offering off. This is a good time to peek as ever. Got a little bit of help there, so it's seen. They line up, and the MP9 just farms.
Yeah, everyone's an opera today, but Pank certainly got the SMG down pat. Heck is... He's going to have a long road ahead of him. Bomb on back. 20 seconds to play. And actually, open a sight. 1 moment. Calculating. This is viable. Maybe.
Fortunately not. No bomb plant. Nothing. And as many people will probably claim... assume that this is ODDIK's bait. It's going currently. I mean, it's just the beginning of Dust2. A lot can happen in short time. I mean, this is in fact how the unemployed boys decide to get going. And where, an unfortunate kind of common ground forms. I'm just hoping this one doesn't go for 3 rounds.
Naite has to spawn for long. He's got Pank to provide some escape flashbangs, but the problem with those is you have to go backwards, not forwards. Naite doesn't get the memo and decides to push and take the fight anyways.
That's a very good catch by BSD. Woody definitely getting overzealous. 1 and then 2 of these ops taken out. And this is a really good stint already. But here at long, it's kind of softened up. What a way. What a way for Pank to get his AWP out of danger. It'll be
they are saving.
A good stint.
This is a round lost. ODDIK are fully giving up this off the back of losing both those guys. And I mean, I understand that. But I think just to... In danger of maybe putting too fine a point on this, Marky, this is kind of what I mean with like, I get scared when I see ODDIK take these double ops out too early. I think it facilitates them making really aggressive decisions, and that is their style. So it's not as if that's not the norm. But what it does mean is that, you know, if they start to lose these early and they don't have the capability like they have this round of, you know, shuffling the op back and saving 2 rifles along with the op, it does make me a little scared.
Keep in mind, BSC just found a kind of very good timing on that hardware himself. They move over with no casualties particularly. And this is going to open up kind of a lot here at the beginning of this T side. See where they're kind of able to bring back Pank. He was doing plenty on that MP9.
Yeah, I think he's going to be just fine to have the less than stellar weaponry here. Everyone else gets everything they would like to bring. All about long for right now for XW7M. Nite, ooh, exposed. Second tier of flashbangs, it's good, and it leaves Nite out on an island.
Yeah, really perfect work, to be honest with you, by the support via long, outside long, rather. I mean, you set yourself in a wave there. Hit him twice. It was really good to box up some of those kills. Nekis gets a kill in middle. Tarnay taken out of this equation. And somehow, this is from going bad to worse right here with ODDIK. And you're at a very familiar feeling. It's really where you were sitting at this stint in round 5. And now you're being looped all the way from CT. The nade thrown up. Gonna have to get a huge boatload of kills right now. It's just shut down. These last 2 have not even been close. And this time, you're not saving over the guns. ODDIK reset.
Yeah, I feel like Nite playing with the same confidence as if he's got some backup from his team. But like the last 3 times we've looked at him, he's just been alone, not backed up by said team. You know, big performance from Pank in a couple of rounds, but man, a very slow start for ODDIK despite the 3-round stretch at the beginning, despite winning that pistol round. Felt like ever since then, W7M have had their pick of the litter. They've been pretty much anywhere they want to be. Long, in particular, has been a very successful position for XW7M to take. Always feel it's
like not hitting too huge of a roadblock, but kind of their initial stint stopped up, Vinny.
I was gonna say I always feel it's a little dangerous to leave your opper with the bomb in suicide, but on an eco round, there'll be no problem.
Gonna be past that molly. It must have gone quite far. Big nade. Very good sound to it, and they're immediately thrown into the shredder. A beautiful triple put up by SHC. And now sprint in this back around. It'll be a easy bomb plan for BSD. And you might just have to wait 40 seconds while this AK is attempted to be saved. Barton has
yeah, Tarnay on the board actually for the first time in this half. He's got 2 on an eco, but he won't be able to save everything. SHC, I think the man we almost not mentioned here. He's the other piece to what was the W7M puzzle. BSD, Barton, and Neck is the new faces. Joining up with SHC and JOTA. Excuse me. It's a tongue twister for me. BSD, SHZ, and JOTA.
That'll be a tough one.
Here's that aggression I was talking about, Mark. Nite really favors this.
Nite gets that double after all, and practically a triple. Collapses down on upper tunnels. And where that triple came from, long doors last time, is back lower. And the bomb is going to have to be recovered. This is going to have to be revisited. Op falls to his death. And a great recovery from ODDIK that really take advantage of a slippery start to the round.
I mean, this is ODDIK in their usual stances, right? I mean, this is exactly what I teed up at the beginning of this half, Mark. That ODDIK love their aggressive lower tons play, that crunch in upper. You know, it's good timing on that as well. I really love how ODDIK like to position themselves. It's all kind of on the back of Nite. Start that out. SHZ gives it a good go, but it's a pretty short go, all things considered. Tie us right back up at 4 apiece. Double kill from Nite. Big in defense of the lower tunnel.
JOTA will take the go now. Sees a man passing. Big, long start, though, by ODDIK. Would be so fun. Wants to go and try and take that type of peek. That's bold. We may not be live. I hear some typing for that and some players jumping around.
Yeah, that's the not live jump.
You can tell.
Yeah, we'll get things reset pretty quickly, though.
JOTA may have DC'd for a moment.
Yeah, I don't think he's there.
Just be reading into the kill feed, but
no, he's got 0 kills. So,
ooh.
Usually
He's an expert on this ESL HUD.
Yeah, I am. Usually a inclination that he's not really there. It's just a ghost. But either way, I think, you know, just a little check-in whilst we have a moment. This kind of feels very much like ODDIK lost a little bit of their groove for a minute, but now they're back in it. They head back into what we kind of anticipate and expect from them. And that kind of leads me into the question mark. I mean, maybe we can get into that conversation about Togs, because they benched him back in February to pick Pank up from Bestia's bench.
Yep.
And I really feel like that was a question for me. I wasn't really sure about like what that looked like or the why, especially because they started out this year by benching K-Slox and bringing in a guy that pretty much no one had ever seen called Sierra. That didn't really work out.
He didn't have too far of a stint. That didn't work out too well.
And so, you know, understandably, they brought K-Slox back.
A young player.
Yeah. I think what was a bit absurd is that, you know, they kind of were moving him into some of Nite's roles, which was even very odd. So I think the point I'm getting at here is that ODDIK have like really been working to make changes over this year. And I feel like they haven't had a clear direction. And that might be changing now.
And like for certain conversations, there are a lot of teams that we speak about where, you know, ODDIK happened to be around, right? This is a team that pushed the major. This is a team that, you know, amongst many, we have this conversation where I think within the South American space, reaching that height without it all figured out, I think kind of says a lot about where kind of the rest of the groove was. And I think falling into, you know, the next part of the season, right? I mean, kind of where it happened to be, you know, facing into now the Budapest Major. I mean, at least they're kind of seeing into, I can't say their struggles are too terrible, right? They just lost a grand final, right? So I don't think it's been too terrible, but they did reach really good kind of stance within that particular tournament. I think where we, rated them ourselves, it was, I think, Woody showing some of his best in, a little while, where I think we were kidding about it earlier. He's the last of this breed, Vinny.
Yeah, he certainly is. I mean, we've seen a bunch of opping game leaders kind of put it down. Only a couple there left in this one, but looks like we got a second to wait, so we're going to hit a quick break. We'll be back with the finalization here of Dust2 when we return.
that it, Vinny? We're back.
I hear the sound of knives.
There's the sound of music, baby. It's Dust2. It's 4-4. We're through 8 rounds of this thing, but we got more to get done. It's the first map between ODDIK and Unemployed.
Otherwise known as XW7M.
The English translation, that is.
Yeah. Yeah, can you say that? The Portuguese word?
I cannot. I cannot.
You don't wanna give it a go or even? Like,
do you?
No,
you,
not
Mr.
Not,
Peer Pressure?
not really, not really.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just curious. My curiosity was satiated. Nasty nade on the neck is to begin this round, and SHC takes some brunt of an HE himself over towards long. Not exactly the greatest of starts to a round, but you know what? So them get themselves mid-control. They're out the CT door as well.
Some sway towards Cat, but that's all in distraction. Smoke that's downstairs. Now Molotov that goes deeper. Naite considering swinging out of the smoke. And that's where a very good kill and a timing from JOTA. He gets one frag, but now it's Tarnay on this site alone. He needs to step this up against this old team. And 3 frags will prove that he can. Can he make it a 4th? 3 will do the trick because he's bought in so much time. 10 seconds on this line. They need to get the bomb here. It's safely on the site. And ODDIK, they approach to retake.
Neck is
nailed.
He had the line. He looks for more, but he's got nothing left. Barton for a clutch. He's had many of these before, and he might have another here. Just needs the best Pank. Knows where he's at, seen, and he's taking the fight and nails the shot. With Pank down, Barton clutches. 3 kills this round. And you know what, Mark? That's how you do it.
Great way to finish out the round. Multi-kill after multi-kill at that back box, but you're right. That is how you do it. Just one more step better in that direction. Barton is perfect. And the lead now on that side. They're trying to face this into another hot start. It's a beautiful find by JOTA at long, and they should phase away from this. They can just feel the numbers on the other side. They have to now approach their next steps cautiously.
They do, but that's because Woody, located at middle, now he sets his sights back towards the B-bomb site. This is crazy for Pank. I mean, absurdly aggressive. That's why SHG has so consistently been hanging out here. It's because Pank seemingly never stops.
And middle corner smoke put out to potentially bring something to Tarnay's attention. That does. He's aware of this, but the 2 MP9s just so separated on A right now. K-Slots with the Molotov, and he may be able to separate these fights. Not this well, surely. Smoked out, and another one of these players is down in the red on this AK, and he can spam and could potentially be successful, even giving BSD a pat on the back on the way out. This is the man advantage pulled back to ODDIK, and Woody posted. This should be opportunity for him to catch this with both hands.
That's just horrible spacing, to be entirely honest with you. Makes it so that he can isolate those fights. Case locks on 3. One-man army down over at long A. Woody now worried that there's a gap that's a brood there towards the B-bomb site, and he's correct in the gap, but he's incorrect that they've actually taken the steps to take it. So this time expires. The bomb in Case Lock's hands. What a fumble. Genuinely, everything set perfectly for that to go right for XW7M. They had a 2-man advantage pretty much. And then bad spacing. They let Case Locks take a lot of liberties with those fights, and they never get a trade.
early smoke so that Nite can post up where he does. K-Slots just gets kind of a nod back from JOTA. Back to back, there's a lot here at the beginning of it. I wonder if Nite is going to investigate further. Smoke right back on that stint. JOTA nailed. And Nekez right in time. And talk about getting nailed right down. It's a one shot. And right now, ODDIK, they may be in a certain flow. And the rest of it's come to upper tons, and they can feel it right now. A good response, but the numbers are here.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to feel for BSD, who's had a couple of different ops, but actually, because people get tagged up, he like barely has it. Finally gets a chance, hits the trade, only for there to be 3 more bodies on B that they don't anticipate. Nice recovery for ODDIK as they are now in the lead, and they might just take a 7-5 scoreline at the half. Reaching into the bag or XW7 in. They're going to take their second of 3 tactical timeouts. They can equalize this at 6. You wouldn't consider that all too bad, but look at the finances that they are currently going to have to push around. It is not good.
It's not. Really not at a long shot by this metric. However, with 30 seconds to speak about it, kind of to muster something up, this is a success if nothing else. It's a 7-5, the worst that ODDIK can put against you. And to get a little crazy here, it should be good. I mean, for a team that's literally bringing in 2 guys today, it's looking fine. Experienced players and all that, do not get us wrong for one moment. But this is ODDIK right now.
Yeah,
and it's one round that separates.
Yeah, an ODDIK team that's had time to get situated with one another. Tarnay, who at the very minimum subbing for 2 or 3 tournaments, likely to be picked up full time. Just a matter of question when.
Instant connection to the headshot right there. Now with these Deagles and the Tech 9s right back to back, they actually could force something up here, but it's got to be actually convincing, and they don't seem convinced themselves. Resmoked that long. That's another timing cancel. There goes their smoke and a dive. This is where it all comes through. Trying to make sure it was useful on that AK. It's denied on that range, but Barton with 1 headshot. Let's see if he is as clean as he was on the B site hold. It's all being chased down here. It is ODDIK that puts the exclamation point on that half. 7-5, and they're racing away with Unemployed's map pick. We'll see you after 3.
Let's get it.
Hey, is it live?
Hey, that says match pause up at the top.
Who's
Oh
that?
no!
Who's that? Oh, all right. Time to play Clue. It was Vincent. It was Vincent.
No.
Now we have him. He's in
Nope.
cuffs, guys.
Nope. It wasn't me.
It was. It was.
Tragedy. Unfortunately, I fear that our captain has fallen once again. JOTA. He was having some technical difficulties previously. He was the one with the network troubles. If
Correct.
you remember to the beginning of our last half, that was what we were waiting on. It's kind of a classic, to be fair.
Well, that's an unfortunate stint to lay it on now, isn't it? Missing JOTA means missing the beating heart, if I'm going to be so cheesy, of W7XW7M, the unemployed. They're missing their boss, Vinny.
That they are, yeah. And I think it's our boss saying it's time to hold off for a moment. We're going to hit a quick break. Apologies for these delays. We'll be right back. My fingers, they're crossed right now. And I think we're going to get back into things.
Are your toes?
No, that was an oversight.
TBD. Potentially they would need to be. We're going to get a clash real quick. Running this up. He's block. Bullets will stick. Pank can potentially deliver a double. He is needing some help. JOTA long range will try and flood that a 3v3 pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is going to leave ODDIK in a interesting position. See, they can pivot basically wherever they want, but they've got the space over towards long, and they're going to go there. But that's where two members of XW7M are still located, is the A bomb site. Right now, Pank is just set in position to catch a rotator.
Slots gets that frag.
Oh!
Pank outside. Beamed by Barton. Now all left alone with plenty to make up, and with JOTA trying to hold down this amount of room. A flash into the smoke to double up. Barton seen, and so is the head of JOTA. JOTA with the double dualies now has got to make up some space, make up for some time right now. With K-Slots online to get this pistol into the hands of ODDIK. It's the second half opening up wide. ODDIK have 8 rounds, and they're sprinting away. The good times will continue to roll.
I mean, they stole that away. K-Slots has no business being in that round, a 1v2, where, in all honesty, SHG has given over more fights than I would really prefer it, but ultimately, he gets back up and into the smoke with his buddy, but Barton, unfortunately, cannot survive long enough. Fantastic works from K-Slots in order to dice up them duels. Finds himself a 1v2, 4 kills on the round. And ODDIK start right where they started on the CT side. Pistol round win, and likely another victory with USPs on the other side.
Getting challenged by a couple of these pistols. Look at these casualties adding up. The MAC-10 to sweep up and do a damn good job. 9 rounds on the board for ODDIK, and they're matching a pretty good pace here. This is looking very nice for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first real test. We'll be heading into the first gun round where BSD going to have a big green, though that's at a pretty hefty price. There's no armor to back that up. He is a glass cannon. But I can appreciate, you know, wanting to get that out immediately as immediately as possible, excuse me.
Teasing that up, that it's still here. Either popping up for the first time on the CT side. ODDIK taking their stance, and they're trying to see through their motions, but not in a negative sense. They want to make sure they're doing their due diligence down through under. Want to actually get this seriously up through catwalk here and try and bleed out the little utility that's actually left on the board here by unemployed. BSD totes the AWP.
ODDIK have all the pieces of map control that you would kind of anticipate after the first 40 seconds of this round goes by. Got Cat looking in lower, and an attempt to drop. They get down safely. Nobody's seen. Nobody in a position to even punish this. This is terrifying.
Sprinting towards B. Got help from window. They're collapsing down, and this JOTA is throwing his body at the problem. There's 2 more bodies on the other side, though, and there's 1 more bullet in the mag. Getting in this site now. Gotta have the bomb in the back, and it's on Nite's. BSD left alone. And now it's impossible unless you're going to hit some very flashy shots. But if that's not connecting, I'm not sure anything is. 10 on the board for ODDIK, and they are wiping away this Dust2 one step at a time.
Yeah, and an op now dropped for Woody from BSD's cold dead hands. It's 10-5. It is ODDIK statement type of round. And I feel like they pressured the right areas. Unfortunately, XW7M in a position where they could get exploited pretty heftily by a mid-to-be drop. That's exactly what happens.
Okay, slots with that double. Keeping these pistols at a standstill. It's Kevlar behind them. So it's something that's trying to be a lot more. Could see Barton take some liberties here at upper tons, but he remains standing. He's a pretty hefty hand here, and the only man that can respond to B if necessary.
Bomb sitting outside of long. That's in the hands of Pank at the moment. And, you know, ODDIK, I think right now they just look to see if there is any further aggression from these pistols. They play to punish. Stack towards A, but that in motion. Back towards B, it seems, and that's exactly what ODDIK are doing as well. Night Day doesn't see anything on that cross either. They're going to walk right into the trap.
2 players here now. That's a stunning nade. That really goes the negative direction the other way. This bomb is sprinting out. This is the right call for ODDIK, and one that takes a lot of nerve to make on the other end to stop and reconsider things.
Oh, they're not going to go.
They're waiting on this wing to stop and reconsider. If they needed to leave, you're exactly right. They had to be sprinting in that direction. Unemployed stays here, and they just get to spam mouse 1. That's only one of the 5-7s that has bloomed in this setup. Time for it to come right out from the car. And Nite on this op is going to have to hit some difficult shots on 1 health, and it's just too large of an ask. It is a great round to dig themselves out with. The 5-7s work their will.
You know, I think ODDIK is a half measure that they take there, hesitating. You know, on a normal gun round, that hesitation would facilitate XW7M to either get aggressive or to, you know, rotate somebody out. It would have been effective. But unfortunately, on a pistol round like that, they just double down. They just sit, they just wait, and that's the right move to make. ODDIK fall flat. And they got one more buy in the coffers yet, but that's a pretty tough loss.
Tease out towards middle now. JOTA can try and stop this. Incendiary force back. ODDIK limited right here. With the belt kind of combined with the 1 smoke on Woody and the rest of this utility on K slots, it's desperate. But if they can get 1 clean execute towards Cat, I mean, who's complaining?
Yeah, this seems like it could be set up pretty well. I think the biggest problem that I'm looking at is the soul, or the 2 flashes to force BSD back. Is good smoke, but yeah, BSD just spotted, flashed, and now they're out.
Nailed on that first line. It's got to be perfect from BSD. Every chance that he gets, he's going to have to fully grasp on. Not even going to get seen with another. Nobody crossing his face. So Nekez has to rotate through at the bottom of CT. And they have utility to try and dawn back at this. It's a really good angle to get this back. Perfect Molotov placement and a CT smoke to give them a cloak to get some space to get these fights. And it's turn A on that site. Now Woody left alone. 1v3 with that bomb ticking, and he unfortunately can't convert the first kill. It's going to be tapped upon now, and he's being held on a very tight line. Might as well let this one bob. It's going to be 7 there, and they stand very high in the tide. It's unemployed. That'll roll in hard now.
Yeah, they are. Bought some time, bought some space with that 5-7 round. BSD hits his shot and then falls back. No need to continue to fight when he doesn't have to. Let the riflers claw that back in. A flood up through the ramp, and it's good. The guys over at XW7M. ODDIK pump the brakes with a tack timeout of their own. New coach in CX1 at the beginning of this year. Has been a very important asset to this ODDIK team. What can they afford? What can't they? 2,400 into the bank accounts next round. So a couple of upgraded pistols, but how to put Woody in prime position. He's got a great long spawn, and he looks pretty poised to head that way.
But he can't find that right on the corner. So this AWP is now going to be roped along to its next block point. It's a very cheesy round here for ODDIK. This is going to be Kind of trying to keep this, I'm sure, in the grasp of Woody. If he does go down, he can always kind of get it out recycled. He's got plenty of money to buy one up in the next.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that nobody here for XW7M is going for anything. They're just very passive. You know, they took long, and it's a lot of utility that facilitated that. But outside of that, that's the important map control that they claimed early. And they don't feel the need to fight aggressively for anything otherwise, because ODDIK don't have a whole lot of utility. So just sit back on these sites, wait for ODDIK to postulate a half-hearted exec that doesn't have much behind it, because that's what's going to happen.
It's going to be a quick run boost. They send this down, trying to take the eyes off of Woody. Well, it doesn't quite work. Now into the allotted arms of JOTA, up at Goose, and he is just going to spray them down. Has to jiggle back and forth upon this angle. You're going to get some help out from that long corner. SHC can't make these happen. It's so far gone out here with even 15 seconds to go. K-Sloth is going to be running for the hills with this AWP. You knew they wanted to keep it alive after all. Can't find that op. It is gone elsewhere. It's going to be 8, though. Unemployed are too far away from ODDIK now.
Well, it is at a little bit of a cost here. I guess Woody can probably drop over an AK. So maybe it's actually not that big a deal. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Regardless, ODDIK allow XW7M to start to close some distance at the moment. And a good clip of pace that they're currently running with. A good round as well from JOTA. Leading from the front there, never overcommitting, never giving K-Slox a chance at a refrag. It'll take long again on the CT side. But it's a quick reaction this time for ODDIK. They have utility to actually scale elsewhere.
JOTA gives Mid a pat on the back as he just serves his way towards this B site. I wonder if there's an approach here back to upper tons. Really a question as to why they're bringing 3 players here on the rifles towards B, unless they really have a read here. This is how they gambled in the last round, just with that 3rd player over towards that A side, so it's within their character to play this passive. ODDIK now with 55 find their first kill, and that's on that long anchor. So BSD, he's going to be putting his back to the wall at car. Yet to even see that up the road of long. They almost line up for the collateral. BSD is the sheriff right now. Finally caught up and put in his own cuffs. It's going to be ODDIK that have the man advantage here, but Barton just gets a start.
The fact that K-Slox crept his way into CT spawn without any contest is crazy. Tarnay is going to get the bomb down. Woody set up it long. Yeah, this one, a long road ahead for Barton. At the very least, he's got a kit, but I'm thinking probably not for this one, Mark.
Needs to find this on the Tarnay King. See him on the jump spot. That's just so unlucky. Tarnay was tucked in far enough. Knew how to play the angles to perfection. ODDIK, they are playing this market right to the fault. They're seeing this all the way go up. They may cash out on this Dust2 right at its wit's end. And keep in mind, this is their opponent's map pick.
The good news for ODDIK there is it's a statement type of round. It goes a little bit worse than you would have thought because BSD allowed to get another shot off. But like I said, K-Slox, his timing to get into CT spawn is crazy. And Woody looked for that last round. BSD wasn't there to receive. This time, BSD's right in position. Nekas is hearing all of this. Quick scale towards Cat. And he's going to maybe try and walk all the way through. Crazy time for JOTA to jump up.
BSD pops back. Just sitting in the snow. Now spotted.
Woo!
With Barton whipping back right where he needs to. When he needs to, rather. right on time, and with a clear path not presenting itself through middle as upper tons, that's going to be reconsidered. And SHC is going to be spoiling these plans, just trims the tail of this. And now Pank is going to have to come back, see if he's going to find the trade.
Yeah, the problem is that Woody was so long at long, it's really difficult for the Opera to scale singularly in that direction. Fortunately, SHG has just jumped into CT spawn. It's a right move, but it leaves JOTA exposed. The A site no longer his domain. He's about to get mollied out more than likely.
JOTA with the op in hand now. He's got this bottle down. I thought it was 12 as soon as I saw that kill come through on the pushing upper doors player. You get that into a very controlling scenario. This is a very great time to stand up. You just lost every bit of change that ODDIK had left. They're at a point at which they need something. They need a great bomb plant here to keep him on ice, Vincent. This is looking bad.
You know, I think that it's really impressive how consistently, after such a bad start to that round, that starts in a 3v5, but XW7M, they never stop searching for something. For a little bit of an advantage, for space, for timing, everything that they look for. And it's Barton that deserves so much credit. Get this guy an op more often. He was lights out with it.
We'll take his Feist closer this round, though. And now they'll be serving his direction. Nathan should do a whole hell of a lot. And it does. What a tally there. It even takes out Barton in coordination. You have double digits facing the way of unemployed now. And they are burning the hottest at the end of this game, which is the temperature they need to reach.
You know, one step in front of the other. That's the goal for a team like XW7M. I mean, a brand new squad, realistically. Put on ice. For the time being. Again, pretty heavy lean down towards B. There's a guy in lower tons, and that's BSD. Doesn't want to take too long sitting inside of that location as he's getting flushed from both angles.
This time this gambles towards A, and it's going to be an active play towards Cat. ODDIK may not be ready for this. It's not as active, it's just a setup to get this defense. Seeing this off of BSD, who's blinded. Ooh. They still give it what it deserves. And what a bold sin to do this. They are going to be washed out of this A site. And they tried to mix it up just in the way that they were supposed to. Unemployed bring one player over and try and switch it up on ODDIK, but they see right through it. They knock down what they do get their eyes on, and it's 12 on the board before it's even signed.
I mean, it's an individual game from K-Slox. It's fantastic to begin with, and Night A with two openers towards A as well. They break open. Where honestly, XW7M had everything in position. They had the right players on the right locations. And Night A and K-Slox rip them up and spit them out. That gets no escape. Paint takes the two remaining. Oh, and that's a terrible moment as well. Look at the money. I'm looking at a pretty broken economy. XW7M will lose, or use, excuse me, their final tack. This is where you can get creative. You know, BSD can afford a rifle. And he's actually gone the glass cannon approach again. Shodes has grabbed his. And this is time for those MP9s to close the distance fast. Maybe get out into lower. You know, the first round, or second gun round, I think, of the first half, where ODDIK played for that crunch upper tunnels. That's the time to pull out something like this if you're W7M.
ODDIK's pick of Anubis right up after this. Where this common ground came with so much contention in the series. I mean, that Anubis, in retrospect, not by result, but kind of by lack thereof result with W7M will kind of, you know, put a stint into your eyebrow, but it's one that surprisingly they have even pretty decent results in the feud that they do have over great competition. Wins over Imperial and Red Canid, so the two they have in the last 3 months.
Impressive, to be honest with you. Not sure what the reasoning is for that reset, but either way, the buys are exactly the same. The money hasn't changed. We get freeze time rolling again.
But I like that train of thought that you were on. Where do unemployed decide to actually shift this up? I mean, it's so hard to do something so sporadic because your setup is so, I mean, kind of just predetermined. It's either 3 to A or 3 to B. You take this first fight, and now what do you have?
Nothing. And maybe even more than nothing with that second swing. Very fortunate is JOTA that Woody misses the mark. He was set up and ready for a second frag, a second attempt. ODDIK could kind of have two options here. They can speed things up or they can just slow him down. Slow down seems like the call. Cheap way of getting cat control, with Nite's jump spotting and just one flashbang basically being tossed, self-thrown by Case Locks. Splits the defense over on the A bomb site. Effective.
Rush up for it. They take contact on that corner, and they are just getting it all the way through right now. Woody even got D'd up there. He has the bomb. He needs to be the key right now. That's why there's no force up cat. Because potentially you just take this to B if you can try to. Woody is just standing still.
I mean, Woody.
Trade it long.
Big find, but Nekis, both of them out mid. Go down. How have ODDIK lost this round? Gives JOTA an opportunity. And he takes it all the way. I think Woody's just setting up to sit here and wait. I don't think he's going in for this.
He's saving. He's saving. That is quite a doozy, Vincent. Open it up, got that space out towards long. I mean, they were supposed to have nothing there. The rest of the round was supposed to be where you find the weakness in middle setups like that, which is having no voice out towards middle and to cat. And it's where they didn't even beat the drum once. So Unemployed will take that every single time. And we're at all 24 at the first map again.
Absurd. Absurd looks. Ridiculous change. And, I mean, at least Woody's going to keep his AWP. Oh, I like it. I like what he's doing. Getting out here, getting aggressive. Good detail there for Nekis. That flashbang saves his life.
In an unconfident stance by ODDIK. But with the crafty 1 AK, gotta get that off in the hands of Woody by. We're gonna sit in the respect they deserve. There's contact made up towards long. That's what Woody was waiting for and got that trade on the long doors in the last round. They have a lot of this space. Bombs back by Pink, though. They're gonna need him alive.
Feels like destiny is overtime, honestly. Let's see what this attack has to bring. Your biggest hitters in Nite. Not available. BSD. There's just no real flashes for this, but he misses the mark.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's going to have to be perfect on shots like that. It's disappointing. the destiny would have to be through his AWP and not Woody's. First kill goes the way of ODDIK, and that bomb is down. It's a 5 versus 4 post plant. And with this attention coming towards Catwalk, the numbers are going to have to show out unless it's a triple from Nekez, who has Woody all the way locked out. A quad. If you blink and you miss it, you're going to overtime on this Dust2. The new motion out towards W7M has pushed them there.
I mean, this is just an ODDIK that looked a little bit less than stellar. They look like they're unsure of themselves in some of these late round moments on the T side. And they had control, but it gets wrestled away. Nekez multi-kills. The reason for that more than anything else. Absolutely absurd. And ODDIK moves into a tough position where they had everything you could have wanted, a chance to close a couple of them, and yet they still offer up overtime.
Money's not a problem, so BSD can grab this AWP and get a good initial boost. Look at how much utility Employed is used in these first 30 seconds to go ahead and rope out all of this space. ODDIK have had a really hard time when the start of these rounds have kind of been thrown out of their timing handle.
Ooh, it's a big audio cue that Tarnay's just heard. So split right now, though, we're ODDIK, and it's kind of hard to see how they can transition this into an A play when they don't have catwalk control. This, a little bit of utility, though, has been really effective at pulling a rotator. Big catch off there. Pank comes out and clutches up to take SHC out of the equation. JOTA's the only one left on A.
This should be ODDIK closing the steal. 3 players here, and it's just JOTA alone. And he has got it all the way on. 25 seconds, and now he's eliminated 2 players with utility, so they can't even cross. That should have been done. That should have been dusted. This should be 13 for ODDIK, yet it's Unemployed that take the lead for the first time in a long time.
So what's the point of selling that fake and getting everyone off of A and then catching the timing if the spacing's going to be so bad? That's the problem that ODDIK just run into there. They let JOTA dice up freebies for no possible reason. It's just so disparate for ODDIK.
Molotov right outside of it. JOTA with the welcome mat. He's just going to be walking it back. ODDIK this time, they don't care about the starting utility. This is the attitude they needed to have in regulation. It's showing up here. It's still not too late on this Dust2. JOTA trying to ruin their plans with their first smoke fluffed.
Yeah, good news is there's still plenty of time to work this back out. And at the meantime, man, Nekez is kind of finding out that there's no one home on the other side of the map. He's in upper tons. Woody's on the search, and there's Op on the other side. BSD, if he wants to fight, he's about to find one.
So we thought, here comes a flash like that, and BSD can actually get the inclination for it. The height advantage here. And that's going to make it very difficult for ODDIK to see on this sled. There was no adjustment off of the long play. They just stayed here patiently. Let's hope their bold decision pays off, and it does. Look at all these frags coming one after another. It's 3 that they deliver.
Why is it in the hard fashion that ODDIK makes these moves possible, but Nekez arrives. Barton up on catwalk. Uh-oh. It's the opposite of that. Barton down below. Nekez gets on in time. And the Op! Falling asleep is Night, it seems. Case Lock's the last man standing. They do a lot, but this ray transfer attempt is there, but Nekez still bests him. Nekez in these last 5 rounds of regulation and into overtime, an unstoppable force.
Had a 4K to get us past that round 24. This time, he is responsible for 14. And that is the type of Counter-Strike you need to be playing. It's clutch type of CS all the way here into overtime. Let's see if Unemployed can take it 3 in a row here. Now, that would be quite a statement out here. It's their map pick, but weirdly, I mean, this has all been ODDIK's to lose in that feeling. Honestly, not too weirdly, but with this how actually dropped the last couple of rounds, can feel sweat dripping down the backs of ODDIK. All the nerves trying to startle back up again at a 4-4 in this long given over.
Yeah, we've seen a real struggle some of these rounds for Night to get activated. That last one, not one of them, but he can't catch the frag on the AWP when it's most important. This time it's a trade out long. Start things off. ODDIK once again pretty isolated towards long. The difference is that they still have control. Tarnay is lurking in middle. It's the difference between this round and the last. Woody's searching again.
JOTA could get caught here. That smoke just fades the wrong way. Alarmed. ODDIK is here. It's a good double. And it's been the entire stance. It's been the philosophy for XW7M, which is just split their numbers down the middle. Try and lead a balanced weight on the CT side.
Okay.
Plucked out of the smoke. ODDIK have got a clue about it now. Tarnay sets a tightrope in the middle. BSD, that trips. All the way over it, including for Barton. Taking that at least all the way at the end. That's going to be really good considering ODDIK are going to be kicking themselves for at least that first round.
Yeah, I mean, that first round, it should have been theirs. Honestly, the second, probably the same. But they do recover and pick up the third. And, you know, it feels like this conversation constantly surrounds ODDIK and failure rather than XW7M and success. You know, I think we got to give praise over to XW7M, Neck in particular, just for committing to the bit the whole way through. They know what they want and they deliver it.
And slowly trying to take that space and get cut off. Pank has that first shot, wants to recover an AK and does. Seems like there's a little bit more adamant of a plan about sticking up Catwalk right here. The way that they approach. K-Slots in CT trying to hold on all up to Woody on this car.
Yeah, he's in a great spot. There's that secondary op if they were to head over the other direction towards B, but that seems impossible now. XW7M cordoned themselves over on the catwalk. There's no right move other than forward. Seems like they're locked in. But a great set of utility that they have ready to go.
Woody fades himself over to a more defensive position at this long. And this utility is unbeatable right now. He's been flashed off of this so many times. But yet, it's not that op they need to be worrying about right now. It's a really perfect nade. They're going to have down so much damage that's going to be plugged in. But it's that one shot. It's even punished on the miss. All of a sudden, this man advantage flown onto the head of ODDIK. They need to consider, even if this next step goes poorly. What the hell is that from Night? Nails him. That's not going to be enough. They've been pushed down. It's 15 they will have to answer to. XW7M are not taking prisoners on this Dust2, but it's taking them long to get to that point.
Yeah, we've been kind of searching for these multi-frag moments from BSD. They haven't really been there. It's honestly not been the greatest of maps, but here in overtime, BSD starting to really find his footing. That huge frag onto Woody inside a pit. BSD had another nice round there. Lockdown onto K-Slots, who was already inside the CT smoke. And he finds the closer. A triple kill. Now they got two chances, Mark. Two chances to close. Two chances to find their map pick. A team that we question whether or not they should even be in overtime.
finds BSD on that fade. Still trying to carry his casket further. Getting back. They can potentially line up here, but he splits them down the middle. And unfortunately, it's a missed shot. Trying to rope their way back to a very protected bomb site. It would be the consideration for that back to be. And all the way onto Catwalk, they reorganize. Hank will invite them in, but with 2 open arms. This is a very big slip up here, but K-Slots, he would need a double, and it's an aggressive play to show that. And unfortunately, the dice will roll into a low number, Vincent. They're not looking good to just get a couple more steps across the board here. It's over. Into overtime, unemployed. They show ODDIK a thing or two. They are 1 map away from making day 2 on their way to ESL Pro League.
I'll tell you what, I said that this series, this veto, favored ODDIK, and that was based on the fact that their Dust2 can be dominant. Alrighty, we have ourselves a game here. XW7M, they were looking down. Honestly, they were looking out. ODDIK found a way, they stumbled. And from that point on, Neck sort of took over. I give him a lot of credit, but a team effort for XW7M. Now, we head on to ODDIK.
Pulling throughout. It's got to be a very good start by JOTA and Co, who just nets this second kill into the site. It's even trades all around into a 2v2 at the start of this pistol round, and a smoke up onto the street. This bomb is going to be planted. And Tarnay may just ignore this E-box smoke, but it's just up for the next couple of seconds. Might as well phase it and try and square up right back to back. There's a whole lot of attention being brought towards Woody, and now Tarnay's hand is shown. So a 1v1 is now submitted. And that smoke onto the bomb, it's going to be tapped on once. This is one of the easiest bomb plants to spam on, so Barton should have this under control. And he practically sprays into the head right there. Continuing to go into the second map, sprinting with the distance. It's W7M that have that first round.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, man, this is actually perfect opportunity, because the chance to start on the T side on Anubis, it's such a huge relief for most teams. XW7M, there's, you know, they're no exception. ODDIK, though, not going to give this up without a fight. They go for a force buy. They look to continue to invest. 3 MP9s, actually, that they got out of this, and it's Tarnay on a scout. Won't be able to find anything as that scope gets smoked. Oh, Woody, you don't know what trouble you're in.
Buyback by ODDIK. MP9 on the other side as well. 5-7 sees in quickly. It's a swift rotation. Lives is adding up. It's boxed out. Practically a 2 versus 5. It starts out to be. These little they're hammering off. They're just not going to be able to find it. Skating across your screen. And now ODDIK practically right back in the lead. They have a 1-1, but they're looking in the Glocks now.
You know what, man? I said Woody was in trouble. He didn't know how much trouble he was in. It was one of those things where actually it was they who were stuck with him, not the other way around. He just somehow finds a way.
The Rorschach.
Skating on ice, as you kind of highlighted, to zoom around with that 5-7. He nets 2 frags. Pank puts together the double kill at the end on the MP9. And now we look to more. Oh, right.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's just the way the wheel goes today. Buyers have it. The bomb planted. And this is one hell of a sequence. Vincent, break this down. What happened?
So what happened is that
I'm listening.
Yeah, XW7M, they had some good flashbangs, and ODDIK were really aggressive, and Neck is killed 2 at B. That's what happened.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's pretty much that simple. It actually is. I mean, you know, I'm being a little bit facetious.
It's a really good call from Jota, to be honest with you, to be bold enough to buy back just like that.
This is true. I think that, you know, a couple of well-placed flashbangs, as I kind of were highlighting, kind of all it takes to help to close that distance, to allow you to get into position, and ODDIK just weren't really prepared. You know, unfortunately, the third man to arrive is like worried about just like throwing some utility, you know, to delay. Unfortunately, at that time, W7M are already all the way through, so there's really nothing to be done. Buyback is successful. Victory is found. We've lost a man, it seems. It's simple. Don't lose player. ODDIK are kind of in a nice spot, though. You know, they saved those 2 Galeals. And normally, with a back and forth like this, the economy isn't sufficient, even with 2 saves, Mark, to facilitate another buy. The thing is because, like, 4 players survived, and Pank specifically got, like, $1,200 from the kill reward, they got money. They got lots of money. This is a comfortable purchase for ODDIK. So this buyback is not a question. It's a statement.
But they would love 5 players to make that buyback with.
This is true. Night Day, where you go?
Night Day, come back. Rather quickly, please. Well, not even for us, to be honest with you. Oh, he's back. Goodness me. And let me not wash away my sake. I believe you saw the local time during our last break, somewhere around, I think, like, what, like midnight?
1:25,
right? 1:25,
something like that, over in Brazil. It's a little late, I think, is the important thing.
+1 from ESTs or plus?
+1, I believe,
2
from EST. I have a nice fancy little clock on my stream deck that I look at.
You're so smart.
Yeah.
Craftiest co-caster of all time, some would say.
Some might say. We got an op here for Woody. I didn't know he had these finances. He's got armor with it, too. I think Tank might have dropped it over.
He just gets it from somewhere. Every time there's, like, an ODDIK force, it's always Woody that they manage to find money for an AWP on him. And I respect it, to be honest with you.
You know, some...
How consistent it does occur. This is the problem.
Yeah, I don't know about that second reswing. I was actually just about to give Woody some praise. I was going to say, you know, I think he does have some fast flicks on him, and he's got a nice shot there as well. SHZ gone. We'll speed him up over on the A site, excuse me.
Ooh, Night gets a great headshot. I will box out a bit more. 3 players walk into the side, and here's a very good shot. Tarnay from the back is already drained of health. And BSD with a bit of room to breathe, to smoke out, and potentially another 1v1. At least a bomb plant you should have.
Yeah, one man already seen over in camera. He's actually heard this, surely. Pank, really good decision-making, though. Just going to step away from this. He doesn't have armor, Pank. So watch out for that. BSD, there's no way he's anticipating him to be in rugs. And Pank's patience pays off for a second kill. Or, excuse me, a second round. A first kill there for Pank. I saw the off kill, and despite me setting up Pank there, I was like, that had to be Woody.
Had to.
It really just is required.
Or Night.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Infamous second AWP out of Dust.
I might be considered a hater on that account.
So we have heard.
BSD's got one. Ouch.
It's a tough invitation for that hopper. Pretty simple call here. Just straight up into B, we so say.
It's got 150 damage and nades at the beginning of this round. Done over to XW7M.
You want to cash over to this. need a great opener onto Nite. But they're blinded up. This is going to be really awkward for XW7M off of the stint. Pank, great opener onto JOTA. But look at this. Former Legacy duo back-to-back. Pank can shut them down just as long as they came up. Pank takes them all, and he cashes them out. Tank gets them all the way down. Pank with 10 frags all the way in. This is an insane start for him. Great stuff, Vincent. B-site off limits.
Yeah, I mean, he just dominates from the back of the site over to the pillar and over towards the Liege Deer. Everything you could ever need. Absolutely incredible hold from Pank. And to be honest with you, when the first set of utility goes out there for XW7M, they don't have enough in the tank to continue to fight for that. Nobody's seen this. Nobody knows that Nite's so aggressive. Love that molly. Nite turns, but it's another one that he picks up. That nade's going to dunk on Barton. He gets away in time, but he can't escape Tarnay's rifle.
Smoke a little bit further. The P250 of JOTA rings in again. How far of a lane do you have in potentially finding a good 1v1? He's just so far off this A site. With the bomb in hand, JOTA could get it for free right now, but he thinks that this is too good to be true.
I mean, I can understand why he thinks that. Case-Lox is now close enough that if the numbers start getting punched in, he's going to hear it. How long, if you're JOTA, how long do you sit here? Because I got 45 seconds to waste. Pank. Ain't no way he hard clears this. Well, JOTA looking away, so it doesn't matter how hard of a clear it is. He'll get the vision. 4-2 is the score for ODDIK.
This is on the allegedly hard side of Ancient.
Well,
Anubis.
You know,
Excuse me.
Listen, Mark, I feel like if you're looking at the win rate of this map for ODDIK, you can probably not quite understand why I was so confident in the veto. This used to be the map for ODDIK. Woody is very comfortable calling here. Their T side is strong, and their CT protocols are really well connected.
Definitely. It's very clearly nuanced so far. And the point at which you have to give that the respect. Hold on. Grassroots opening. You have this all the way down through middle, and it's cut off. Drops down to B for a little bit more practice. Pank just out of 4K here. And Woody is here for the help, so this is not going to be just for the taking. JOTA has to have a crucial trade, and does. BSD plants this bomb, and Tarnay to retake.
Winnable, though. It's not out of the realm of reason. BSD sort of isolated on the site. He's about to join his teammate in for D-box. Man, seen and removed. Now here's the question. Tarnay, he's locked in. He's looking for this. What a commitment. Tarnay, he knew from the start. JOTA, the balls. He just repeats. He just takes the fight. He says, Tarnay, let me show you how it's done. You left us? Well, this is not what you should have done.
Huge stuff right there. And a time at which to just put this on a tally. Have a timeout, 30 seconds to talk on this T side, and Horvey will get involved. After a very bang-bang round you take advantage of, ODDIK's individual still showing up here. You're just going to have to drain the bank. It's got to be a kill shot right here.
Yeah, I mean, the hard part is that ODDIK now still have everything to work with, and on top of that, you were discussing this is the harder half. Well, yeah, 4 rounds is already pretty good. This is already a decent half. Obviously, ODDIK not going to be happy, but they got plenty more time to work with. Feel like we haven't seen all that much from XW7M. You know, their playbook hasn't really shown itself. They've gone for some of these faster plays, but there's been a lot of ecos in that, and a lot of half buys.
Flashing Tarnay in. They're yet to take that next step. They do off the Molotov. It's just more than Tarnay. He has Nite there with him as well. And if he's getting that spotting onto Barton, there's got to be the rest of XW7M somewhere. behind these middle smokes. That's where we can see them. JOTA can't quite get this clue. K-Slots doesn't know what the hell is on the other side. Nite, surprise. And now this is going to be such a stint. They line up and he knocks them down like pins. This is BSD. It's going to be back here with Barton. That's got to help. He's got the bomb in his back and he can't be left to dry here. And he gets this fight. Tarnik squares him up and he knocks him out. This is a great look for ODDIK as Barton gets creative, hopping. And when he reaches the ground, he's a dead man. ODDIK aren't stopping.
So here's what I mean when I talk about how well postulated the protocols for ODDIK are. A lot of times if you see that type of aggressive stance from a CT side, it's very all in. You're looking for, a canal push through E-box alongside that push up and through a main. Well, K-Slots is ready for that. They have kind of a backup plan for that trap play up in middle, or K-Slots is taking second contact. It's a huge surprise for W7M. I love how ODDIK have these little trap plays set up for A. Barton, you don't have a gun.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
We found it.
You realize that it goes back. I've come to retrieve my $200 pistol.
Free if you just don't buy it.
Facts. Gotta understand its worth. Gotta understand its value. What's the value of this AK when it's on the ground and nobody's got it? Nothing. You're done. You're dusted. P250 now. Hey, it's not in the hands of JOTA, so I don't know if it's got superpowers. Barton left alone, and he will remain alone. It's going to be gone. It's going to be a quick 6 that ODDIK picks up.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with ODDIK CT side. Knew that coming in, showed it off. I mean, they really flexing their Anubis muscles right before it's gone from the map pool.
Will you miss it, Vinny?
Yes. A lot.
I can't believe you like it that much.
I really love it. It's an awesome map.
It's a great map. It's a great map.
It's a good map.
It's no overpass, though.
This is true. Happy to see overpass. Get that Inferno trash out of here. Next time. I know the devs got me next time.
Yeah, you and I were at the major. We were forced to watch a bunch of Inferno. We kept commenting about how it's...
Well, I talked to the dev.
like those will continue to pull it forward. What did they have to say?
They said they love Inferno and it's here to stay.
What, did John Counter-Strike tell you that?
Yeah, well, it was actually Sally Counter-Strike, but it's okay.
Yeah, Jimmy told me otherwise.
So, well, mixed signals, I think, is what we're getting.
It's a big family.
Yeah.
Plenty of devs.
Not so mixed about the concept for this round. Meant to be a mid to wherever split. And I say that because W7M set up to receive on both sides of the map, hoping that they're going to get ODDIK caught in some sort of aggression. And that's a fair statement. ODDIK have been very forward-facing. But they don't see anything. They don't hear anything. Nade's going to stack up, does big damage, and Pank gets away.
Pank gets away at a very good press. 14-3 right now. What a start to this Anubis. 30 seconds. We've got to get this up right now. Just being chipped one player at a time. It's Nite that swoops in for a little bit of help. But what's it really needed? It was just relieved from every single side of this site. It's ODDIK that are sprinting through their map pick, and they wished they would have held on to map number 1 because they were confident about this veto and reaching into Anubis.
Yeah, I mean, 7 rounds. It's a CT side. Not to continue to hammer this home, but I will. T-sided map. Very T-sided map. 7 rounds on the CT side is fantastic. Any team would love.
Nuke's the third map. At least Nuke's the third map.
One person's happy.
Woo! That is a big nade onto K-Slots. Nite and Woody back to back. And there is Pank to get his share. Everybody is getting a taste today.
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I know we don't have a stat check here, but the utility damage on ODDIK's CT side here has got to be off the charts.
It's got to be 1 million damage.
Might be over 9,000.
Oh, okay. That's probably more accurate, but
Yeah.
But the kids have never even heard of that meme, dude.
All right. Calling me old or something?
Calling us old.
All right, good. At least it's us together. 8-3. ODDIK. Ain't nothing getting old about this, though. I'm loving what ODDIK are showing. And W7M,
He's loving it.
It's really not been a whole lot of opportunities on these buy rounds. Unfortunately, they've been backed into corners where they have just enough cash to like buy most everything, but not quite all the things that they would want. You know, it's made life tough for BSD, who very much a traditional opper. He really thrives when he has that gun, but it's less so when he doesn't.
Fresh on that smoke and a spam that is sent.
That was a really nice nade. It broke the smoke and it naded basket. I don't know if that was intentional, but that looked perfect.
Down to 40 on that stint, and K-Slot says, yeah, I'll take advantage of this timing. Gets a really big kill at this point in the round, in this minute to go, especially considering how much XW7M have been using this middle position. He just found out a whole lot, and nobody's here. Nobody maybe even planning to come here. There's one player that's going to fan a little bit of something back, and if this is going to be towards A, then they're probably going to have a lurk in middle. There's probably going to be a player not accounted for somewhere, and Woody here to be the welcome map, but he's not going to get walked on. It's a great kill that he has, and a Molotov that is just going to deny the aggression.
Yeah, now it's a rifler that's right here where Woody just was a moment ago. Second flash is perfection. Tarnay has them both. He puts his previous team on notice and shows them the door, kicks him out. Woody puts the finishing touches on a 9-3 half. We're going to hit a break, but when we come back, second half coming at you. It's the second half, and welcome back to it. XW7M, 3 rounds on their T half. 3 rounds, Mark. I got a question. Is that enough?
I gotta say, through my expert analysis of Anubis, no, it is not.
You are the analyst.
No, it is not. Not even close. Not even close there, Vinny. So heading into the worst half of this map, I don't got the faith. Don't got the faith. Ladies and gentlemen, you're staying up for another hour. It seems like Nuke may be on the docket unless another ridiculous comeback is in order. Pistol round would likely be required. That's a great shot connecting. Makes the most of his life. And now the camera is going to be the next rotation. Barton with Doolies is making it happen. Hold on. Seems like a pistol round is on the hook.
That it is. SAG puts the final touch on it, and ODDIK fall. A brilliant flashbang. I'm not even sure who threw it, to be honest. But Barton, certainly the one to take advantage. Lined pretty much everyone for ODDIK on that mid attack. And so the Barton Doolies farm up big cash. They've gone hefty into the rifles, limited on the utility for round 2. And the good news is, ODDIK have not forced spot. They are sitting pretty with 5 Glockerinos.
Chasing after those Glockeroonies. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, that was a deagle. My bad.
What do we have here? Yeah, just one wolf amongst the sheep here. One deagle.
One thing is not like the other. I guess we really didn't touch on why that half was so dominant, right, for ODDIK. I mean, 17-6 is the current scoreline for Pank, who is but unfortunate demise in the first round or in the second round of this half. But point being, he was an unstoppable force in defensive B, constantly under pressure and constantly successful. So that's something that W7M are going to have to rectify at some point. Figure out how to stop him. I think that's a lot easier said than done, but still a requirement.
JOTA gets one. The firing squad is threatening. FAMAS, it's trickling in. A couple of great shots. This is a really good rotation on this way through. And Naite with this eagle and try and space out these fights. BSD to put this in the catalog, and a 5th gets on the board. That 3 is growing.
Growing, but hold on a moment. Big damage done, 3 kills. Yeah, a no bomb plant, but ODDIK have, enough utility to help work themselves back into a round. That's what they're going to do right now. I'd love to see something punchy on the first gun round. I wouldn't be surprised to see ODDIK just keep it slow. One of their biggest assets on this map's T side is their default. Said default getting them into position over at A at the very minimum.
They hear that. They need a little bit of help over here based on that Molotov. Getting flashed out a little bit of respect. Naite is just automatic on that pickup. It's a really good lay. At this point, this should be 10. Look at the aggression. Woody should just be slamming down the trap. You have one more player here to try and just lift this a little bit more. Naite sees into the rotation back. Bomb makes its way to B, and this should be a nice plant up for JOTA to cancel. But it doesn't look like he's going to get there in time.
I mean, he has a timing here where he knows there's just 2 in defense, but even that knowledge doesn't change the fact that Pank unknown. He creeps in. A little bit of space to work with. There's no kit, no utility. Gonna get a freebie. So that first to guarantee. Gotta be careful. Nite's running to try and get back into position here, but that Molotov, problematic? Not so. It doesn't spread far enough. And JOTA gives it the old college try, but he loses out. But does collect an AK on the retreat.
Double digits up there for ODDIK, their first round of the second half. And where they're finally just on a basic round, very first gun round, finding a kill. That's on Nite. And then waiting for the patience to come through B. They set that trap. It doesn't even go perfectly. And they just work out a really good round. To be honest with you, I still think there's a really big threat coming back here, and this is kind of the last of the money. There was that decision to kind of, you know, go backwards, forwards there on the buy, and they decide to get more with the gamble, but looks like this gambit is not paying off, at least on this first rain, and you can't say that about those next two either. It's quickly 5.
Yeah, put that one to bed. Nite gonna grab another one before he's removed, and ODDIK find that first gun round, and now they seem to be zooming. On to another one. Barton already low. It's not the MAC-10, it would have been the AK. One side or the other, a choice that is a pretty tough one no matter how you look at it. XW7M, I mean, their money's busted. They either buy right now and buy the rest of the half, or they just save this one, give ODDIK 12, and put all their chips onto one singular final gun round. And that's what they'll do. The all-in maneuver.
This is 12 right along and signed into the catalog practically. ODDIK here are going to be loving their way to a nuke. XW7M are familiar. Not overboundly successful themselves, but just about as familiar as they were with this Anubis, to be honest with you. And if now you can speak to the scoreline, then I think that may be how we feel about particularly their chances. And if ODDIK keep up this temperature, Vincent, I don't think it's going to cool down so well. Potentially for Tarne here. Let's see if this man can collect a couple. Get this man and Nico can pad the stats. It's shared alongside. Who loves that? It's all the ODDIK fans. You get to see Nite in the feed. Paying to get that on to 21, Vincent. What a performance.
Yeah, I mean, move from a Dust2 where I feel like we were kind of not seeing some of the star power of ODDIK, even though they were in position to win that. It was a slightly slower stance from multiple individuals. Case Locks really had to take the front and center stage, but Hank now putting it on display. Early nade on the neck is pretty devastating. That's over an E-bot. Pressure point for ODDIK is going to be towards mid. JOTA getting a ton of damage done on the Case Locks.
Nade coming forward, and that's clearing out house. They should have the M4s online here. And the A1S on this other side as well. Barton in this mix. These flashes are coming for him. Nite, he boxes that out. And it's a very good finish that they have to this game. ODDIK, they took no consideration of the slip-ups of map number 1. They could have kicked themselves, and it could have been a point of contention. It could have been their ESL Pro League dreams on the line. ODDIK will keep pushing. It's going to be that nuke guaranteed. 1v5 for Barton. Try your damnedest. But ODDIK live on. We got that third map, whether you like it or not, and we are headed there clean.
Yeah, I mean, a dominant showing from ODDIK. I think that they kind of flex their muscles here on Anubis. That's the thing that I would, walk away from this game describing it as. Dust2 certainly was pretty
I'm standing up. Well, I guess it's my fault that we're here. It's a nuke that I was asking for from our second series into our third, and I got my wish. I got my wish at, I think, 1 a.m. local time, Brazil. So this is going to be a late one. The real gamer hours are kicking off, Vincent. But that's how we like it, baby.
Yeah, it's some good news. It's some good fun, and it's ODDIK who are on the offense. As they, I guess, lost the knife round. That's kind of probably what happened. Nite and Hank with some big openers. Woody catches BSD trying to reaggress into lobby, and now Jota's in some heavy trouble. He's got Tarne and Nite. Both of them go down.
And a team kill effort. This is in a 2v2 now. Just at this wit's end, with it particularly just back-to-back, Pank and Woody, two of the most deadly. And now, with the ball in their court at the beginning of this T side, now this pistol round is needed. This is 2 in a row that XW7M will have in this series. They had the ladder's end out on Anubis. They will have this right here at the beginning of Nuke to kick off their CT side.
Okay, am I crazy? Did they get the pistol in the second half?
Yes, they did.
Okay, I'll just trust you and say I'm crazy.
It's all mixing together now. I know.
It is slightly.
It
all good. I will say that should not have ever happened. Not have been possible. That TK really bungled it up nicely. That was a 5-on-2, if I'm not mistaken. Just if we're doing the math. Jota, he's currently having a farm right now. 3 kills in each round. For the first 2, he's having a good time. Fresh-faced with regard to leading. I don't know that we ever mentioned it here on this broadcast, but, you know, after his previous stints, when he came into this W7M project, he decided to pick up the in-game leadership, and it's looked pretty decent. As after, you know, he's been a bit of a journeyman. He was with MIBR for a couple of years. 2023, he was on Imperial.
Two stints are on Imperial, right?
I believe you're right.
A journeyman indeed. Pops out from this corner. One and then done, but BSD is in a very good position to make that position worth it. Because life is not in vain, particularly with this shift. It means a clear out of the A site. And look at how they just get shifted away. This is going to be a very good bow. And at a point at which you're going to actually really consider this retake. But I think with Barton's positioning all the way up with the kit, they could consider this to go. Holding on to the guns, though, is completely the vibe that they're going to be presenting with these fights, and it's obvious.
Yeah, Pink, you know, makes life very difficult, even if they weren't thinking about saving anyway. Now they certainly are. Little detail that goes probably entirely missed in that round by most people that I want to point out is the fact that Woody got across into like the site proper there. SAC might go down to this. Yeah, it will. But Woody got across on the site proper without anybody seeing anything, and you know they understand that there is going to be multiple people flooding back in through main. A moment later, they let Woody take the contact, and then off the back of that, Tarne swings from hut side. I think it's a small detail, but it's one where it makes sure that XW7M are fully swinging, committing to that fight before the rest of the team commit to it. Tragic bit of miscommunication there leaves an extra gun in spawn, so the extra cash flow basically going to nothing.
I hate the waste. Gotta be able to doctor those numbers, but it's fine. It's fine. We can nitpick them. It's also 1 a.m. Their brains might be cooked.
Nah.
Across the board.
These are
on instinct. Sometimes that's the best kind of Counter-Strike.
This is true, but these are
Brain off.
the gamer hours, so
particularly.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say no.
This is when the FPL pugs just start. 1 a.m., midnight, grinding up. Pank pushes the line here in J-Hall, and really, with the guide right now, the pack will make him all have a confident kind of stint here. This is going to be a roll into the A site. Look at this positioning. She's going to put them on the tally right now, but Pank has to have that online, does with the nade. And this is even deeper than they think. But both players look away from Mini right now, so K-Slots could potentially have a double, but it's Nite up for a 1v2 clutch. And with 12 HP, this is so difficult on 25, now ticking to go. And it's JOTA, he's tucked in J-Hall. They have him surrounded, and that's the issue. He doesn't even have his hands on the bomb. So I thought he was about to drop and try and get this kill. He's tucking in this corner to save and really just see into the next round. Okay, and enough money to finish out that belt of utility, but JOTA, he ain't waiting that long.
No, JOTA finds him, catches him off, and puts him down. 7-1 for JOTA, 6-1 for Nekiz. It's a pretty nice dynamic duo that these guys are putting together here on Nuke. Talked about, you know, Nuke is a bit of a favorite here for ODDIK. I'd say it's probably their, I'm going to say third to fourth map. So it's certainly up there for them, but it's not their best. So I think ODDIK definitely hurt by this T-side start. Crazy timing. Poor Nekiz. That's Counter-Strike for you. And they're going to get a bomb plant out of this.
Nade going down below, swooning in. Denied. And ODDIK has got this bomb down. This is in just so swift fashion. Try to whip back into place. With these 3 guns out of place, you're going to have to remain likely in a save scenario.
That hurts.
It's a great call.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy timing, though, to be honest with you. Nekiz goes down without any resistance posted whatsoever, and that's simply because ODDIK catch the perfect timing out of door. And I think that more than anything is what ends up winning ODDIK this round. But it's a nice couple of shots. That dink on the Barton puts him on notice immediately. If he's a little healthier, I think there's a far higher likelihood that they go for that retake. And it's a good couple of flashbangs and nice Molotov up over the top that help facilitate the forward positioning as they get the second kill on the top of the silo there on A site. Pulled off. That one did ODDIK without a whole lot behind it. Nekiz can only afford a max 7. Everyone else has got a healthy economy.
That's what you want to see. Misty peering on the way through. Hasn't quite found anything yet. Nade pops the smoke. They haven't exactly detected the threat yet, but that smoke and these next couple Nades put forward is going to take it. It's even the bomb on his back gets tagged up.
Joe's just going to get down into secret through the vent in response to the fact that Pank could have crossed over. Now they start to pressure yard all at the same time.
Slots gets that frag. And actually pushing the direction here. It's a nade that goes forward, and how could you expect Barton to be in this corner? And that particularly, Swag 7 gonna try its best. Too far into lobby. The rest of the CT side, it continues to box, but now you're in the different weight class in the ring. That's gonna be boxed out. 1v3. And it could be sealed for this. But are they expecting Barton at this direction?
Well, the problem is that Barton has a kill already. So they know where he was. And they kind of have killed everyone else that, like, very clear positions, if you will. Well, and he'll dodge. You would have thought?
That just happened.
I am so blown away.
Yep. Yep.
I wish we had a replay.
No bomb plan, no nothing. That's
They had the bomb
real.
the whole time.
They had the bomb the whole time. They had ramp positioning. They could have gone upper. They could have gone lower.
They were on A. It should have been a...
They looked at a menu. It had 3 options that overwhelmed them. It was too many.
I am so... I've not ever seen that.
That was ridiculous.
I can't believe
it's a little late.
They had the site the whole time, and they didn't plan.
They had it all.
Something had...
1 a.m., like I said,
no,
in Brazil.
I refuse. Something had to have happened. We just didn't get to see it from their perspective.
Something in the comms, potentially.
No. Something in the game had to have happened. I refuse.
Did the bomb get Thanos snapped? Is that what you're suggesting?
I don't know. It got lost in his pockets.
That does tend to happen.
That seems more reasonable than what just happened. What a lucky break. Triple nade. Over, down, and through. JOTA's still going to win the fight. They naded his position, and yet he still survives.
And they run this down. Hank in a certain direction with this MAC-10 cannot be stopped. And Woody gets a great headshot. That's onto JOTA at a 3v3, but so much damage done to ODDIK. This is quite a timing, though, and they just split. They line up for Bank. PSD 1v3 back turn. And ODDIK members separated, but you go down this ladder to your damn death. Your feet have just been shot off.
Quite literally. I don't even know how so much damage was done in just those few bullets. But BSD is going to walk over to save, which means we have more time to discuss possibilities on how ODDIK lost that last round. Because I still don't get it. Before we do that, nice couple of kills from Pank there. Actually really impressive that he picks up both of those guys from door. That spacing was kind of good for XW7M. The problem is that Pank was just on an off angle that they didn't anticipate. So anyway, any more thoughts about how ODDIK lost a round 3v1?
I am racking my brain. This is hard to tally. Well, they at least convert the very next round. I think that helps a lot.
It does make up for things. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that makes up for a lot.
Oh, this really puts XW7M in a tough position. Their economy starts to get busted very quickly. The back and forth of the last couple of rounds, absurd as they may be, still a hefty cost for them.
Turning out these corners. Now Pank connecting onto JOTA. They find another spam within. Doesn't seem to be. These pistols get closer. Not to worry, however.
I'm
watching
worried.
in every single direction.
I'm worried.
They're so worried. Look at ODDIK. They are not even giving it a single chance.
Which is good. I mean, they basically lost at 3v0, so...
That is true.
I would be worried. Alright, I'm done with it. I'm putting it down. No more. No more molding. Keep me to this. It's a promise.
That's going to be one we remember, Vincent. And,
in this map, specifically. Just for the record.
Games that we have casted.
Okay, nice shot from Tarnay. It's, not pretty, but it'll get her done.
beating them at 4-4. But yeah, that's the first time I can say I've ever cast it around like that.
I'm done. You can't trick me.
The mauling's over.
Brian's about to go down, actually.
Rage baiting can't even occur.
Nope. Can't get me. Everyone will survive. So nice slow-paced round. One of every attempt made there by XW7M to create some opportunities denied. Care put in by ODDIK, making sure that they don't make any mistakes. This one should be easier. USPs for the vast majority. Oh my gosh. Go ahead and say it, Mark.
I won't.
I'll be impressed.
You may if you wish. Now this. Oh yeah. Oh baby. Oh baby. I'm loving that.
Mark, a longtime fan of the Zeus. Could actually get a kill, to be fair.
I don't want to curse it. They're not ready. This is great work, but they should be aware that there's something at the bottom of this. Still waiting for something. And JOTA, oh, gets a dink around the corner. That's like Matrix on that. On the corner. Heading for that bomb plant. A1S out of ammo ain't helping nobody. But this T side. ODDIK pulling the lead again. After unemployed, give it a really good go.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of these times where things have, like, maybe not looked the prettiest, that's another one of those rounds, but Tarnay really steps up, 4 kills. And the anti-eco, that stack at A for XW7M, just falls flat. Some good news for ODDIK is they take a lead. I mean, T-side, it's never easy, but these numbers, they keep adding up. You got to start to be impressed as they're going to pick up the pace. Night Day, he's in their face.
Down to 1 health. Been teed up by this op, but is not down. He's been left alive for a reason, but to maybe make a little bit more space. Life's going to be in vain, particularly as it stands right now. It's a big nade back, but JOTA is playing around with that player top mini.
Yeah, JOTA does a great job of actually picking up a second on that one. They somehow maneuvered themselves down vent. And Woody has the bomb. So Barton's technically the only one here. He's going to call in reinforcements sooner rather than later, surely. But the cutoff might be available. Barton now giving himself away. Oh my goodness, a lack of communication. His paint goes down as well. Nobody turns. Woody is so stunned that Barton's just jumped on his head. He cannot get the comms off. ODDIK try for a change of pace, and I don't disagree with that call. I think Woody really trying to take advantage, and Night Day's the kind of guy where he really thrives in that type of aggressive stance, but tragically, he can't quite track the head down. And so, with that, get XW7M another round.
This forward BST insane opener, Barton survives. And now they can hold onto a setup like this and try and drive the end of this CT side. Woody with a MAC-10 that gives it a good look, but it's just a couple casualties at the end of the day that can afford this and really would love to finish out 7-5. This is going really well for, honestly, where I put the pressure with a lot of doubt to the results that you'd already seen from XW7M in the past. I think this is a point at which you have to favor kind of the calling from Woody and the point at which you're working off of everything from ODDIK. This is a really good stint that they had on that Anubis. They really put the beat down all the way on. So the fact that we're here right now is really kind of working from lost time.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. It's going to be a top pop. Well, that's unfortunate. Night loses out outside. That might actually funnel him into ramp instead. Does just that. BSD Nice duo between he and Barton. Last round, Barton now arrives, and it's the same situation. Grab one, let the rifle take over. BSD with the stunner. No scope, and Barton's got two as well. That's a dynamic duo that pushes to a 7-5 half. We go to break.
If all that it's saying is true, there's a war before your eyes. Tell me, can you see right through? Right through, right through. Down through the wires and the pipelines. We go disconnecting from the city and the skyline. Counting up coins for a soda can, and there's nothing going on, no game plan, no plans. So I'm jumping out the fire, back into the frying pan. I'm trying to disconnect from the stats and the spray tan.
Let's get it. Second half of Nuke. Made it all the way to a third. Recall that this is elimination on the line. Whoever does not win this is out. Their road Pro League Season 22 is over. They don't even make it in to the second stage of this one. We're going to send it out. Tarne and the Dualies of Nite. Dynamic duo that does shut it down. Top of... Oh my goodness. Top of Hut is his domain. Tarne having a great day.
That's a really great round all the way to get forward, but I will just try and comment right forward. You just reminded both teams at home that one of them is going to have to wake up and play again the next morning just as quickly. And I did it, didn't I? I just brought that up, and we get a tech pause. Hopefully a quick one.
Get the back mark in our green room. Just said, would be crazy if there was a tech pause. He actually didn't say it that way, but I'm making it easier. That's what he said. So, point and laugh. Everyone point and laugh. Ha ha, ha ha.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I've graduated to cyberbullying. This is tragic.
You see what you've become. You see what you've become. It's what you sought to destroy, my friend.
It's a tragic story, one that we've seen many a times before. Thankfully, things have gotten figured out relatively quickly. ODDIK back in winning ways with regard to those pistol rounds. We were kind of talking about those and how important they can be. Well, hey, ODDIK, 5 rounds on the T side is a good start. Add a pistol round and a strong CT start to that, and you're off to the races. There should be Glocks only on the other side of this, though, for XW7M. I see a P250 in there as well, but vast majority of these are just Glocks.
Waiting on their will. Chopping in their direction. MP9 going to give it a very good go. Would he even seeing into a team dink in that stint? ODDIK, they start off so cold. Not a casualty in sight. Not that one that isn't in the XW7M jersey. It's tied right here as the first gun round is ripping on the board.
It's also nice to see Woody the one kind of farming up some extra cash. That gives him the flow to potentially pick up an op if things go wrong this round, or even if they go right and he goes down. 2 MP9's going to stay for ODDIK on the bonus with next up, WX7M. Going to have themselves the full AK contingent, no BSD AWP. Looking to explode onto Pank right now. That's a nasty nade. It's going to make life easier, but that reload going to be the cue to go.
Sprinting it down. A flash to try and fade this away, and this has got to open up the trail. A great shot. Just go dip it back and forth. What kind of shot is that out of BSD? Denies and punishes all in one. And so at a 3v3, they're continuing to send this forward. Tarnay on these steps is going to see all this through. Nite is practically the bait right now, opening those doors, trying to just hold them off. It's a minute that they're going to be on this tally, and they can't wait that long. It's all the CT seaming through, and they are just a swarm at the beginning of this defensive side. 3 in a row for ODDIK.
Yeah, Pank does a great job of buying a little bit of time. He's not quite sure how quickly they're looking to scale, but he drops a flashbang, he gets the heck out of dodge, and he secures his one. Unfortunately, you know, the first MP9, it doesn't really work out. I think that was Case Locks who dropped down first and foremost, that contact, but don't worry, because Woody, Nite, they arrive on scene, and Tarnay puts the finishing touches on it. Fast up ace, top pop.
Chopped up, turned into mincemeat by Tarnay. What a great hold. Insane stuff. This is a great turnout from this member that rips over from his former squad and just puts their face right back in the mud.
Man, I hope everyone has put the eco fragger tag over on Tarnay. That's his, like, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, like, 10th eco kill.
What they call Junior, the Eco Cobra or something? Like, you gotta find a good nickname for that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I was kind of talking about the like HLTV fantasy eco fragger tag. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I'll cook something up.
You're playing the EPL close qualifier. Barton got that headshot.
I don't think you can play the close qualifier.
Nite. One and then done. 2 of these players are going to be audibly on these steps in K slots. Because of that, takes an aggressive stance. Needing to kill here.
What?
Molotov and taught a lesson. This is going to be the first gun round that goes the way of JOTA's crew at his hands right at the end.
Yeah, 4 rounds straight for ODDIK, and finally XW7M pick up 1. Now it's time for that reinvestment. Woody's sitting at 11K to start this round. He gets the big green, all the bells and whistles. He's probably even got a nice skin on top as well. He's got so much cash he can afford it.
JOTA opens up onto Naite. There's 2 times in a row they find Naite outside. Should be costly. Trying to really put more pressure back on Lobby as well. It's a deeper smoke that it's not going to be fooling anybody right now. That opening kill brings them back to go for an A hit, Vincent. They're all on T roof with this utility.
Good news, at the very least, is they still got 2 players at A, ODDIK. But they're making the move, making a really proactive move. This is going to be interesting. Oh, and BSD takes it. Case locks. I don't know if he's seen.
Goes deeper. He slots. What a double. In trouble, but with Pank on the other side, he holds them off at a 2v2, 45 and ticking. They got to be able to get out of the rut of this T side. With all that they've already done in this round, opening kill, came back to lobby and did this execute. It's ODDIK that haven't stopped looking either. They went to get aggressive out through lobby. But you hear this, they're diving back down below. Woody has a quick rotation, being that he was in J-Hall.
I mean, Pank made the instant move to get back up towards ramp side, and Woody had a brilliant opportunity. It's now Pank that's going to go down the ramp. Or down the vent, excuse me, SHG with a big shot, and now Pank to clutch.
Opens the door, Pank to slide, and now a 1v1. SHG has 8 kills right now, and with the 9th can have so much impact. But there is Pank, double digits, and the highlighted player out for map number 2 has a highlighted play out to get this into a great gear for ODDIK. They shut down the little bit of momentum that XW7M were just plopping.
I don't think they do, actually. W7M, they've like banked a ton of cash. Feels like out of nowhere, to be honest with you. Mark, they've got plenty to reinvest. They haven't won just yet. And I mean, they haven't won back the momentum just yet. But it is Pank, I would agree, doing a whole lot of heavy lifting on the CT side already.
Won't open that door. Trying to send a lot outside. Woody can just tell. K-Slot's got eyes on. They communicate this across the board.
No one down yet. No one at all down. I feel like they've missed the mark on it, and they have. Case-Locks drops, and it's right into JOTA's crosshair.
They're fooled. Ball top on that right side. Pank can bend. Let's see if he can break as well. Barton in that motion and a nade to push them back.
Well, that's big info. Barton seen. SAG going to take out Tarnay. He's the second guy rotating down for May. And I think this is a save angle for ODDIK. Everyone just trying to make your escape through J-Hall, and that's exactly what they'll do. XW7M, target yard. They don't get what they want, but they get down. And they get down secret in a fashion that ODDIK are surprised by. They don't have any reaction. And so when Pank is the first man on the mission to get down B, Case-Locks falls in the vent, and the world starts to fall out of contention here for ODDIK on this round.
The end of this nuke is bubbling up. And here's a big breaker, make or break moment for ODDIK. Even at which they are in the point of this lead. The money is fragile on the CT side, and they're going to take a moment to speak about it.
Yeah, I get CX1 back on the mic and, you know, see kind of what this looks like. I think that as a whole, one of ODDIK's strengths on this nuke map is that they tend to be good at rotations. I think that changes a little bit with this iteration of the team, but Pank in such a critical rotator role with regard to the ramp side, he's quick to make decisions. And so, talk about kind of how that gap happened over down through Secret. How Case-Locks goes down for free.
JOTA with this call again, and they are just nuked. Look at that nade damage. This is great work for ODDIK. Get a man down.
Oh, they're
Tank
fast.
has to respond. They find Nite for like third round outside in a row. Woody with the collateral. He puts them on a stint, and this is going to be a great turnaround for ODDIK. They need to control the A site, and they need to now. BSD and Barton all left alone. With an op, they have to recover.
Bank gets really active. He's all the way through secret, and now he goes back down. Wants to make sure that there's no little gap that's been seen. Technically, ramp is open right now. So this wait, this hold, might start to pull them back off of heaven. They don't have any utility, so there's no early warning system. Oh, but they don't look. They don't clear Tarnet. And so BSC with a 1v3 attempt.
Catch that into the first player. Doesn't last for very much longer. K-Slots with the rotation back through. And it's a very great turnout for ODDIK here towards the end. That was the round they needed more than any other. And now staying on top, it's still not a fully fledged victory where they're sitting high and mighty, but they feel it. This is where they need to just pump the confidence back up for one big moment, find to 12, finish it out after that, and see into day 2 of their Pro League journey.
That's right. And they're trying again. I mean, when are they going to punish this? The answer is they try now.
Wow.
Nite blows up the smoke himself, but he's having a stinker, a tough time. Tank gets in there, and he's JOTA showing him the way out. One way in, no way out for ODDIK.
This is crazy. Just when ODDIK needed to continue on that turf, they are denied.
What a save.
I don't have the faith in this round, even in the 3v5, and now it's over. Bomb plant, save these guns. Woody just looked right across the row to JOTA. Rather, JOTA to Woody. And said, we're not out of this yet.
Man. The fact that JOTA's calling that aggressive secret move 3 openers in a row. And to be clear, it like sort of worked, but sort of didn't work every time. But he just takes it on his own and says, it will be the time right now on the 3rd try. Love to see that confidence from an in-game leader. All 5 go down. ODDIK are broke. And they're broke. 15 hundo is all they got this past round. So everybody at $0 is still right there. Bad time to lose money. Worst time to be on a double eco. They take a tactical, but I don't really think there's any way you can talk your way out of this. It's a shoot your way out of it or nothing type of situation.
And these 4-5-7s will agree. ODDIK feel the same way. Meet them here or don't. They're not matching them here. And ODDIK may even consider the worst end of this. How far can they be pushed across the board? Maybe even require an overtime because this loss requires a save. So they can fret it. This is a very different look. No outside smokes. You haven't seen in a round like this to some time.
What is...
So where does it go across the board?
What is that
I believe
smoke?
that goes deep into Unbreakable.
Okay. Yeah, looks like you're absolutely right. On Woody, he's got the only rifle. He's lost it. Not recoverable. Nobody can have further impact with it. And guess who? It's JOTA. The in-game leader taking it upon himself to step up. And the highest rated player for ODDIK and Nite having 6 frags. It doesn't help. It's Nite who pushes forward.
And that is disastrous for Pank. We watched that from his POV. Nite has won on the 5-7, but it's the A site given up, and it's practically 11-11 already. AK, they've gotten their hands on an XW7M through JOTA's calling and fragging. have just made the difference right now.
Yeah, he leads the charge. He's 19-12. It's a team effort for sure, but it's a JOTA who putting himself on the forefront. He's calling himself the openers and delivering in a big way. Yeah, ODDIK, as I was kind of highlighting a moment ago, really missing Nite's fragging right now. He's such a pace setter, even on the CT side, that when he's missing, it is felt big time for ODDIK. Both he and Tarnay will hold what they've got. Armor, a few bits of utility in that big ticket item, the AK-47. Just like I drew up with Red Canids, just like that team, ODDIK are a squad that are looking to qualify for LANs. This is a team that wants to be at the highest level. And now they're on the cusp of getting eliminated for the closed qualifier by an unsigned unit. A unit that's been broken apart. 3 roster changes in the last 2 weeks.
Some of the most recent as of yesterday in Brazil. About 10 minutes for us, Vinny. Well, rather for me.
Some good stuff. See that same smoke I was asking questions about? Same continuation.
Nite opener. Keeping XW7M on this line. Now this is familiar. This is more like it. They're headed down into lower. Pank is an individual. Won't be getting away with this. A lone crawl. But look at this. Nite is the player that rotates. Nite does have JOTA. Barton gonna only collect on one. All of a sudden, a clutchable scenario for Tarnay. Was a AK in hand. Incendiary and
that'll do
smoke. That'll get right on top of him, but BSC survived on 1 health. You can't make this stuff up. He's still living and still breathing. Tarnay at a point at which he can turn ODDIK up. It's poetic against his old squad of W7M and BSD. One of the players that have came in to replace him, up to stop him. Taps on this bomb. Has to get it into a believable moment. Is it bought by BSD? That is the question. It is not. BSD to check you late, and he will leave you down. ODDIK are going to have to require overtime to continue on their Pro League dream.
On that dream, it might just have to stay that way. Not even close to reality. It's day 1. They're not even into the second day where you have a chance, where there's double elimination. This is single elim. And 1 round stands between ODDIK and that dream staying alive. For XW7M, the chance to play elimination.
Nite, he wants to finish this one swiftly. Into and out of regulation. K-slots can punish. But where do they get this done? Looking and spotting ahead. ODDIK have had a great start to this. I can't believe that clutch is denied. I can't believe it.
You know what? Here's the good news. Nite starting to move like he has a little bit of moxie left. Like he's got some confidence back in his cards.
No way.
What?
Gotta find a trade like that. Barton can essentially find this onto Tarnay. He does. Turns it into a 2v2. There's a player down below and there's a player up top, and now there's a decision to be made. Bomb on the back and 50 seconds to go. SHC will go all the way back through lobby and see into the far clutch.
So 1v2 denied in that last round. Now it's a 1v2 required for XW7M in this round.
Bomb plant is going to draw one of 2 peaks. Pank ready for the solution. Here it goes. Smoke in the mini. It's going to give him a little bit more to go. And this is boxed out with a lot of respect. And a fight that is just up top. ODDIK, they're not done with this yet. This series keeps going. We have overtime on the cards.
And you know what? I said it was kind of poetic. It kind of looked like it was going to be. Case Locks, what a ridiculously aggressive move when Pank is so far away. I can't believe he takes that fight, but he wins it. And that's all that matters. It's OT needed. We go back to Dust. It's the same idea, but it's for all the marbles. There's nothing else left. Finally, the money's of no issue. Something that ODDIK have been struggling with time and time again here over the CT half.
So much inside control. JOTA squad is going to a blood sport effort again outside. Nite traded. K-Slots rotates down below. They can lean into aggressive lobby control like that when they expect so much early outside attention. Flash into mini. They're going to have to wait for this Molotov to fade. This may not be going down to B.
No, but do you really want to test Woody? He's inside of Hut right now. Tarnay on an off angle from Nitro. They make their way up into heaven. That's where Pank currently sits, ready to receive. Really comes down to Pank and how successful he is here.
On this line, what a swing. And this is going to be a great wing for them as well as the 3v3. Tarnay sits at the second vent, and this can just be a denial. 1v3 for BSD. But going gun-ho with this and has it into an impossible stance. BSD, don't you dare. Into overtime and unfortunately separated from a sensational clutch. ODDIK of 13.
Man, that would have been the moment of the night for BSD, who as a whole has not had the greatest of days, but has slowly been building to end out that the first half rather, of regulation, building up over the T side, but denied by Case Locks. Couldn't quite find the clutch before, but does right there. Big nades early. That was a combo of the previous night day. How about an early duel ×2? He has stopped them in their tracks. They cannot move forward.
Grabs an AK. And will continue to hold this down the way that their smoke pop just made that a funnel for him. It was just ridiculous. BSD holds on. And Nite has a triple in this round. What a start for him in this overtime. It'll be 14 for ODDIK. Barton to go and try and sniff out this ramp.
Thanks, got
Run
it.
into Pank eventually.
Surely.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, there's no way Barton clears Pank. Sure, right? Right.
No way. It's the back turn. And apparently that box is more wall bangable than I think. All of a sudden, it's a 2v2. It's lauded into the lower bomb site. The ops, they meet again. And the bomb, it's in our hands. ODDIK are going to try and just keep it there. With Woody on top, Molotov. That's going to deny Barton.
Yeah, behind enemy lines. There's no time. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if Woody lost out, but he gets to hang on to the op anyway. 2 in a row. 2 straight for ODDIK. Like I said, money, no object. Things change. Nite starts to build confidence, and this ODDIK team runs through his aggression. When he's looking to take fights, when he is winning those early duels, it's a double kill and an escape, a 5-on-3 that, sure, Barton almost turns back. Cannot believe that Barton actually checks Pank. Nearly catches him fully off guard. But that doesn't happen. That's just an if. That's just a what if. Instead, we're living in the reality where ODDIK now have 2 rounds, 1 more to play in the first half of OT.
No intensely aggressive outside start by Naite, but look at the pathing on these smokes. This is interesting, especially by Nekez. He'll be right next to Mini now. 3 players are going to see down exponentially quick, where there's no player that is dropped by ODDIK.
Yeah, not even an attempt to peek through that. Pank's not going down. Neither is Case Locks. That nade's going to give it away if it wasn't already clear, but man, ODDIK are in no position to fight for B. Pank's now just looking. Naite looking like he wants to go down, but surely that's a death trap. How have they not found him? Naite drops the bomb, and he's out for more. Pistol comes, and Naite finally felled by the tech at the very last moment. But it bought time. Pank's now at buttons. There's no longer no threats over on the B bomb site.
45 ticking, and Barton just fades for the first time. He's surrounded, and Pank has a clear kill, and BSD will be denied into overtime. It will not phase ODDIK. They are perfect on that stint, and it only gets more clean along the way.
I just really want to point out how, you know, Tarnay's at 22 frags, and he's leading the charge. Outside of that, it's been relatively average for everyone else, and Naite has already caught up. It's just a few rounds of Naite delivering at the normal pace that he traditionally does that brings ODDIK back, and now they dominate 3 rounds straight. They need to find one of the next 3. A singular victory out of 3 chances. And that seems like it would be simple, but, well, you were here earlier. You can ask Flamingo about that.
It seems like it was ages ago. What a day we have had on this T stream. BSD is gonna get taken out right back on that conversation. A great find that he did all the way grab, but 4v4.
4v4 that kind of leaves ODDIK a little bit flustered. They don't quite know where to go. Tarnay is trying to hold desperately onto a large amount of space here in lobby, but he's not really got the manpower to do that effectively.
And there it is, opening this A site. One more player here to extend this Pro League journey as far as the A site is concerned, because if this falls, then it falls. And it does. 16 rounds, 3 maps, and another overtime needed here. And it's ODDIK that continue to go on their ESL Season 22 Pro League journey, Vincent. They keep on rolling. They